Okay, Chapter 8, test review. The first thing we need to go over is all of those vocabulary terms, and it is on your test tomorrow. So all of these are on your test tomorrow. They might be worded, not worded, but the order might be a little different. But the terms that you see in bold, those are the terms that you would need to know, like population is an entire group of people or objects. This is not multiple choice on your test. Okay, this is either going to be like a short answer or a fill in the blank. Okay, so just make sure that you get all of these correct answers in your blanks. It'll be 2 points per question, so if you missed one, just mark it wrong and write the correct answer in the blank so you have the correct answer for the test. Okay, ready to move on? All right, sample and population. All right, you want to know the number of fans at the Miami versus Dallas game that the Dolphins will win. Think that the Dolphins will win. You survey 50 fans with season tickets for the Dolphins. What is the population of your survey? Everyone at the game, or all of the fans at the game, something along those lines. That's your population. Okay, everyone at the game. What is the sample of your survey? 50 fans. 50 fans. Is the sample biased or unbiased?
Biased.
It definitely is biased. Why? Yeah, because you're only asking which fans? Dolphins. If you walk up to a guy decked out in Dolphins gear and he says the Cowboys are going to win, you think that's going to happen? No, he's really like, Dolphins all the way. Yeah, right? Okay, so anyway, so it's definitely biased because you're only asking a certain group of people. All right, so we would definitely say biased, and that's the reason. So I'm not going to write all of that out. It would just take a long time to write by hand, but that is biased, okay? And then for the reasons that we just stated. All right, questions on that one? All right, next slide. Which sample is better for making an estimate? Would it be sample A or B? For the scenario, number of families in your town with 2 or more children. Why would we choose sample B? Yeah, because it's everyone in your town. We're all on the same page about that. You know, obviously you don't want to ask people, again, in only a certain area. You want it to be representative of everyone. All right, what'd you survey? And understand what the question is asking here. Would it be realistic to survey everybody in the population, or should we only take a sample for, let's say, favorite clothing store of students at your school? What do you think, population or sample?
Sample.
Definitely a sample. All right, we know that students in a school, it's going to be multi-hundreds of students. That's not practical to survey the population. What about the second scenario? You want to know the favorite topic. Definitely, because it's only in your history class, okay? So that could be population. What did I skip? Okay, let me see what happened here.
It's the modeling real life.
Modeling real life.
Yes.
That one?
No.
No? What was the question? It must not be in my PowerPoint.
And admission.
Okay, the admission one. Okay, I'll come back to that at the end because for some reason that's not in my slide, but that's okay. All right, we'll come back to it. Is this one on your worksheet? Yes. Okay, so you and 4 friends survey 30 students. So each person is surveying 30 students. You, friends A, B, C, and D. Each one of you are asking 30 students, and you're focusing on the country category. Okay, so based on that, for you, how many people preferred country?
300.
10 out of 30, which is 1/3. So then you take 1/3 of 900. And like Kennedy just said, what is 1/3 of 900? 300. No, I did finally figure this one out. Okay, so I'm about to explain it. All right, so there was just something missing, and it finally like clicked with me yesterday. All right, so let's go ahead and do all of our population estimates. So for friend A, who knows, maybe they just asked a certain group of people that hate country music, because how many said country? 2 out of 30. So they're like, yeah, no, not country. Okay, so 2 out of 30 is 1/15, okay? Change that to a decimal, multiply it by 900. What did you get? Yeah, only 60. So based on their sample, they would estimate only 60 people in the population would prefer country. All right, let's go across. What about friend B?
8.
All right, so then how many is it for the population? 240. What about friend C?
240.
And friend D?
450.
Okay. Now, each one of these population estimates for you and each of your friends, okay, those are each snapshots. 30 people were asked, 30 people, and then you made your population estimate. So what you can do to make it even more accurate, again, these are 5 snapshots, is you can bring them together and find the average of your estimates. So add them together. 300 plus 60 plus 240, 240, 450, and divide by how many? 5. Okay, and what do you get?
1,290.
No, divide by 5 now. 258. So now basically by taking an average of each of your estimates, now that can give you a better picture. Again, maybe you just asked like a certain group, they're like, no, we don't like it. So that's going to skew your estimate. So all 5 of them together and taking the average gives you a better picture, okay? So that's what we did yesterday on the quiz too. And you guys actually did very well on that. So we just wanted to make sure that we followed up on that to kind of clarify it. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so on this one, hours of practice each week, I had some confusion on this one, some questions. They thought that we were supposed to divide each A, B, C, and D by 10, like add them all and divide by 10. Why is that incorrect? Right, because, and kind of the confusion came from, well, when we did it in the examples during our lesson, we divided by 10, but that was because there were 10 numbers, okay? So we need to understand that for the mean, I'm dividing by how many numbers are in the set. So I add them together and then I divide by 5 in this case because there are 5 numbers. So what's the mean for school A?
11.
Oh my goodness. That is supposed to be a D band. Did I do that on the worksheet? Oh my goodness. I am really sorry about that. All right. I'm not perfect, okay? Sorry. Okay, what is the mean for school A? Sorry. Yes, it's 11. All right, what about school B? 10. C? 9. D?
11.
And if you wanted to get even more accurate, you could take the average of those averages, okay? Which is what we did on the quiz and what you will do on the test. All right, now, for median, what is really important that we do with these numbers before we find the median? Put them in order. So I'm going to do it for A and kind of show you. All right, so 5 and 20 cancel, 8 and 12. What's the median?
10.
10. What's the median for B?
10.
Not 15, sorry. Hold on. 10 again, yes. And then 8 and then 10, okay? All right, very good. So those are my medians. Any questions on that? Anything? Okay, moving on. Okay, comparing populations. This is set up a lot better on your test. I was kind of quickly trying to piece it together, but let's just go through, all right? Compare the data sets using measures of center. Let's stop there. All right, you have to tell me what that value stands for, okay? So we had a little bit of, I wouldn't say a lot of people did this on the quiz, but we did have some on the quiz, like saying a value but not saying what it is, okay? So a measure of center, what is that? What is the measure of center? We called it the median, okay? So for data set A, what is the median?
3.
Or, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, we could do A or B. So, and we called it Team A and Team B. Sorry about that. Either way, for A, the median is what? 3, and for B, the median is 10. So we're going to state that, okay? And then the median of 10 is greater, all right?
Teachers, please excuse the interruption.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're saying what this value is. It's the median and it's greater. You can continue on and say, you know, than data set A, which the median was 3. On your test, I'm going to give you a blank. Kind of like what you see in the last section, what we're about to talk about. It's going to say median blank, and you're going to write the median. IQR blank, and you're going to write the IQR. Just on the worksheet, you kind of were expected to write that yourself. All right, now, what about the IQR? The IQR for Team A is how much? 3. And for Team B, it's 3. What now? Yeah, they're the same. Very good. All right, now I'm going to skip down to C because C directly relates to what we just did in A. Okay? Is the number of runs scored per game significantly greater for one team than the other? Okay? Well, in order for something to be significant, does anybody remember what has to be true about the difference of the median? What has to be true about it, Zach? I couldn't have said it better myself. 2 times the greater of the 2 IQRs. And in this case, the IQR is the same number. Okay, so that makes it even easier. So take the difference of the medians. What's 10 minus 3? 7. And what did we say was the IQR? 3. So is 7 at least 2 times greater than 3? Yes. So it is significant. It is significant that Team B is scoring way more runs or significantly more runs. So now let's go back to question B. Which data set is more likely to contain a value of 3? Okay, so here I have a value of 3 here on the number line. And we talked about what percent of the values is inside the box? 50%. So if it's in the whisker on one data set and it's in the box on the other one, it definitely is more likely to be in the data set that's in the box. Okay, so that would be which one, Team A or B? It would be Team A or data set A. Okay, either one. I know what you mean if you're saying A. Okay, so any questions on that? All right, last slide. All right, so let's just start filling in some of this information. For data set A, we need to know the median. What's the median for data set A? 1.1. All right, and let me just change these to A and B. For the IQR, what's the IQR? 0.05. For data set A? 0.2. It's 1.2 minus 1.0, so it's 0.2. 0.2. Median for data set B?
1.6.
Okay. And IQR?
0.5.
Okay, 0.5. All right, so I'm going to use that information now to make some conclusions about the data. What conclusion can I draw about the measures of center? Anybody know? Which one's bigger?
Data set A.
Data set A. Data set A has the greater. Okay, you do need to say that it's the greater median. You need to, specifically label that. All right, because if you don't say greater, I might think that you mean that that one was less. Okay, now obviously this is a pretty obvious answer, but we just want to be specific in our answers. So for the second one, for variability, what would you say? Data set B has the greater variability. Or what were you going to say, Isaiah? That's even better. IQR. Okay, greater IQR. Perfect. All right, that's what we're looking for. So on your corrections, you can even look at your quiz right now. Did I say which value, or write a question mark, or say IQR, or question mark, or what is this label? So I'm just looking for you to get specific there. Okay, or maybe I said perfect, and then you're awesome. Okay, all right. So that's just kind of what we're looking for. All right, now Which data set is more likely to contain a value of 1.1? Data set A. It goes back to, on 1.1, it's in the box on A, and it's in the whisker on B. So in the box, it has 50% of the data, so definitely the greater chance is in data set A. Okay? Last question, which data set is more likely to contain a value that differs from center by a variation of 0.3? Okay, so I look at my center. If I go 0.3 from my center on A, I go down to 0.8. Is there a good chance it's down there? Nope. And same thing if I go 0.3 up here. Very slim chance that there's any data in those ranges for A. But for B, okay, if I start here and I go 0.3, I'm still inside the box. So there's a chance that I could definitely have some values. And even here, okay, there's still a range here to get to the edge of the box where I could have some values. So that's why I would say it's data set B for sure. And those you can just say A or B. All right. If you understand that, guys, that's really, I mean, we pretty much covered it for your test tomorrow.
All right, I got